When we think of farming, many times we never really consider the different components and how they could work together. An initiative in Port Harcourt actually decided to look at how to ensure that the entire components of the farm, animal husbandry, crop farming, and all of that can depend on each other and help each other to grow, so that the waste from one is used as fertilizer or is used as feed for the other. Let's go to Rivers State, Port Harcourt, South Nigeria, and see how this initiative is working and the plans to duplicate itself to other farmsteads.
At first glance, it looks like an ordinary farm, but the Shanghai Rivers Initiative Farm is far from it. The land, covering an area of over 300 hectares, is cultivated using Shanghai principles. In other words, crop production, husbandry, bioenergy, and fishing all depend on each other. A so-called circular economy. Tammy Jajua coordinates the farm.
Is the Zero Emission Research Initiative. And the zero waste system is a system that works on recycling of byproducts and waste products. So what you have from one production center that's a waste, that waste material is being channeled to another production center where it is being put into effective and efficient use.
The Shanghai farm has three important branches. First, there's husbandry with ostriches, cattle, pigs, donkeys, poultry, and even snails. Then there's a fish farm featuring a hatchery and several ponds. And of course, crop production. The aim is to link the different branches and organize them in a sustainable and environmentally friendly way. Nothing is considered waste. The manure from the chickens is used to fertilize the fields, and the wastewater from the fish ponds is used for irrigation. Shanghai philosophy prohibits all forms of chemical fertilizer and pesticides which are considered harmful.
The system here is a system that we carry out a lot of cultural practices. One worthy of mentioning is the mulching. We use the dry grasses, the mulch, to suppress the weed. So you do not need to go and bring a herbicide to spray here.
The farm also has installed a biogas plant where crop residue and organic waste are collected. When the material decomposes, it produces methane gas. It's odorless and can be used for cooking.
We try as much as possible not to waste some of these byproducts. The effluent is a byproduct. Now, this effluent material you are seeing here itself is useful. The effluent material in this farm serves as our liquid organic fertilizer.
Agriculture makes up over half of Nigeria's GDP. Conventional farming methods can harm the environment and the soil, and in some cases, even decrease yields in the long run. The organic system protects the soil and increases yields gradually.
We are not just looking at the human health alone, we are also looking at the environment, because these chemicals that ends with the CIDE, the pesticides, the insecticides, the herbicides, the rodenticides, all of them add poison to the environment. Some of them, over the period, there becomes a build-up. They build up, and then they can even infiltrate down to the aquifer, the water aquifer, and then pollute the water.
The farm also serves as a training center where young people can learn about sustainable production techniques. It's hoped that this will help spread the ideals and the values associated with the Shanghai system, and eventually allow sustainable businesses throughout Africa to thrive.
As the world's population grows, the quality of its soil is rapidly decreasing. Approximately 30% of the globe's land area is affected, and around 3.2 billion people depend on this land. The area most affected is the region south of the Sahara. What's causing all of this, Sharon?
Well, for example, soil loss, but also climate change and industrial agriculture, which damages the soil with artificial fertilizers and heavy machinery. But there are ways to stop this process and, quote-unquote, cure sick soil. The solution is a very special type of earth that's called terra preta and can be made anywhere in the world. We had a look in Germany.
It's harvest time in this experimental garden. Entrepreneur Joachim Böttcher is pleased with the yield. These crops haven't been watered or artificially fertilized for 10 years. They've been kept alive solely through natural rainfall, and yet they're thriving. The secret behind this apparent miracle is a layer of terra preta on the ground. The highly fertile soil mixture is based on an old indigenous formula from the Amazon region.
Roots need more than just moisture. They transport the nutrients and need very porous earth. If there's not enough air down there because the soil is too compressed or dense, they don't grow well. With terra preta, the soil is loose, airy and moist, and it contains nutrients and beneficial microorganisms.
Terra preta, Portuguese for black earth, can be made almost anywhere in the world. Here it's mixed from locally sourced materials. In this village in the Frankfurt region, it's made with mown grass, dried leaves, the remains of mushroom cultivation and manure. The ingredients are then combined with a special mixture of charcoal, bacteria and fungus. This is covered and stored for 4 weeks to allow the mixture to ferment, converting the organic waste into fertile soil.
We can use a wide range of biomass types for our charcoal production. It doesn't have to be wood. We can also use things like straw leftovers from the harvest, even bones. A whole array of carbon-containing products can be turned into high-grade charcoal, and this charcoal is the basic ingredient of terra preta.
A look into the microscope shows why. Charcoal is highly porous, so it can store water and nutrients. The pores offer a breeding ground for microorganisms, which help the plants to absorb the nutrients. Others transform plant remains into humus and bind carbon in the soil, helping to protect the climate as well.
We'll have to feed over 9 billion people by 2050. That means we'll have to treat the soil differently. Terra preta offers us the chance to at least help farmers conserve and improve their soil at a locally sustainable level.
These agricultural experts from Morocco share the same goals. Agriculture plays a fundamental role where they come from. Here they can see firsthand how soil improvement functions in detail. That helps them find solutions for their own environmental problems.
And very dark, you see?
In general, our main problem is the intensification of agriculture, because it also leaves us with fewer organic waste products.
They want to use the charcoal-rich terra preta in Morocco as well.
And bring it also into the material.
Once the ground is contaminated or depleted, it takes many years to recover. So we have to find a solution to tackle that problem. And the soil we've been shown here, the terra preta, is an excellent solution.
These Riesling vines weren't growing well anymore. Many of them were small and spindly. The ground was dry and depleted, so the vintner added terra preta to the soil.
The thing is, we're here in an area where vineyards have existed for almost 2,000 years, without crop rotation, in principle an extensive period of monoculture. That definitely leaves some areas a bit worn out. The soil has to be reactivated. We can't continue like this for another 2,000 years.
The initial results are very promising. This ancient farming technique clearly has a bright future.